The key to any great study plan is the diagnostic. The diagnostic is what tells you how you should spend your time studying. If you recall, we asked you to identify one or two of your weakest areas for each section of the ACT. There are two ways you can use this information. You can use it as a general guide and just choose to study anything from the broad category of things that need work. For example, geometry. You can choose to study anything in geometry. Another better approach is to spend some more time with your diagnostic and break down your weak sections even further. In geometry, you may find that you do well in questions about triangles and angles, but need to review the formulas for circles and four-sided figures. So you could just study questions on circles and four-sided figures in geometry. Once you know what you want to study, you need to organize it. We think that you should study for about 75 minutes at a time. That 75 minutes should be broken into 3 20-minute blocks with a 5-minute break after each one. Each block should be dedicated to a different topic. So for your first study session, you might choose to do questions on circles and math, colons and semicolons in English, and four-sided figures in math. As you build your study plan, remember to occasionally return to a topic from an earlier session to cement that knowledge. An example of this will be a third study session in which you do questions on graphs and science, big picture questions in science, reading passages, and circles once again. The next step is to identify the exact questions that you will use. You can use drills with answers or the questions from a full test. Just pick and choose the ones on your topic. What matters is that you identify a set of questions with answers that you can do for about 20 minutes. Write these into each block. If you are studying with a group of friends, another great use of one of these 20-minute blocks is to have someone in the group teach everyone a new skill or technique. The key to including teaching in your study sessions is that each person commits to preparing their topic in advance. They never lecture for more than about 5 minutes, and most of the 20 minutes is spent on doing questions. When you are done writing your study plan, it should look something like this. The days and times when you will study are clearly identified. What you will study during each study session is broken down into 3 topics with a set of page numbers or the URL listed. There are 5-minute breaks between each block, and the final 5 minutes is reserved to summarize what you have learned for that day. One question that many students have is, how much should I study to raise my score by a point or 2, or even more? Unfortunately, there's not a lot of research on that, and so we don't know. What we suggest instead is for you to make a commitment to study for 10 to 20 hours and then take another diagnostic test to see how you are doing. You can then use that diagnostic test to write a new study plan, zeroing in on whatever needs the most work to increase your score. You can keep repeating this process until you hit the numbers that you need. This is the best part of writing your own study plan. You are in charge. Thanks everyone, and good luck. We know just how well you are going to do now that you know how to study for the ACT.